Hello and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I want to talk about honouring your personal style and why you shouldn't be worried about trends, why you shouldn't be dictated to about the rules of what you should and shouldn't wear, and it's kind of expanding on a video that I made a few weeks ago. Now, before I get into that, I wanted to say thank you for all the comments that I received both on Instagram and on the video last week about my makeover process. And if that's something that you're interested in, I have created a workbook for you to create your own plan for your makeover so that you can get clarity about what it is you want to do and so that you can put a plan together that will keep you on track to achieve it. So if that's something that you would find useful, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So first of all, the reason that I wanted to make this video was because I'd had a couple of comments recently which I wanted to address, and one was a question which I had mentioned about waterfall cardigans in a previous video, and somebody had said, I thought waterfall cardigans weren't in fashion anymore, I thought they were dated. And then the second one was a comment that somebody had made on a video a couple of weeks ago where she had said that she thought that the long pendant necklace just screamed that you were over 50 and it was very dated. One thing that I wanted to say about this particular comment is I don't have a problem with looking like I'm over 50 because I'm actually proud to be over 50. I'm actually going to be proud to be over 60, so I don't have a problem with that. But I wanted to talk about why you shouldn't really worry about what the trends are, why you shouldn't be dictated to somebody about what you can and cannot wear over 50, and also about how to really kind of honour your personal style. So right from when I was very young, I was always into fashion and style. I've told this story before, but I can remember many years ago when I was probably around about 10, my aunt used to work in a boutique in Guildford, and one Sunday she had the keys to this boutique. This was long before Sunday opening, and she took myself and my sisters in there, and we had a great time getting dressed up in the pieces in the boutique and putting outfits together. And putting outfits together has always been something that has come naturally to me. I was one of those people, I don't know if you remember, I had those little cut out figures where you also cut out the outfit pieces, and they had like little tabs on the shoulders and around the waist so that you would put the top on by bending these tabs over the top of the shoulders of this cut out model. So it's something that has always fascinated me. I can even remember once in school when the teacher was talking about what we wanted to do when we grew up, and I said that I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I can remember him kind of poo-pooing it. And you know, from that early start, you get kind of knocked back on what this dream is that you want to do. And here I am many years later. I'm not a fashion designer, but my life is around clothing and fashion and helping women get dressed. So eventually I have come to the point that I want to be. But I'm telling you all of this because I think what happens is we have ideas of how we want to look, how we want to dress, how we want to feel, and they can kind of be knocked out of us. The other thing that I have a big problem with, and I'm kind of getting, I suppose, more and more irritated by this recently, is, you know, I always bang on about not putting people into boxes. The problem that I have with this is that if you spend a lot of money to go and see a personal stylist or an image consultant or whatever you like to call it, and they get you to do a personality questionnaire, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where you tick so many A's and so many B's, and they'll say to you, as was done for me back in the 80s, when perhaps this was more appropriate because we were only just kind of starting out with all this sort of thing. And I filled in this questionnaire and I was told, you're a natural classic. You are the Princess Diana, which of course I loved, because didn't everybody want to be as elegant and glamorous as Princess Diana? So at that time I didn't have a problem with that. In the same way that all those years ago we used to say to people, you're an autumn and you're a pear shape, because we didn't really know any better. We had to have a starting point. We had to have a place where we could train people to work with women and kind of help them. But it was all very formulaic, and over the last probably mostly year or so, I've really developed the way that I think about working with my clients. And I think, as I said, the problem is if you go and see somebody and you're spending, you know, quite an amount of money now to be given information about how to dress that's best for you, if you're being given a formula, that is not best for you. That is best for the person giving you the formula, because it's easy for them. They don't have to do too much work. They don't have to be too creative. And this is something that I think, you know, we really do need. We need more creativity. So being told, you're a natural classic, and that means wearing, you know, natural fabrics, but things that perhaps have a classic line, you know, polo shirts, jeans, that kind of thing. It's all very lazy and it's all very boring, because what happens is we end up turning out clones. So I really want to work with women to give them a better way to do this. And to a certain extent, I can't tell you what your style personality is, because I'm not in here. I don't know what's going on in here. But what I can do is give you the tools and the techniques to find those answers, and then show you how to use those answers to create a personal style that is really unique to you. So coming back to that question about, you know, whether long pendant necklaces look dated, whether waterfall cardigans are dated, it doesn't actually matter, because those things are part of my personal style. So they are things that suit my personality. You know, this necklace is something that I love to wear. I'm going to pop a picture in here of this whole outfit so that you can see the whole outfit that I'm wearing today. It's got a little bit of a boho feel to it. And what I realised when I was thinking about my personal style and doing my own makeover is that I had also become quite formulaic, and I had also kind of lost a little bit of who I was, and I really wanted to get that back. And so I started to think back to, you know, again, in my younger days, what did I like? What was I attracted to? Sorry, I'll wait for the plane to go over. I've got the doors open because it is absolutely boiling today. And I can remember one of my first kind of real influences was Farrah Fawcett. I'm going to pop a picture of her in here. Now, I idolised her. I was at that age when Charlie's Angels came out, and I thought they were fabulous. They were so glamorous. And her in particular, even to the point that, you know, I tried really hard to copy her hairstyle. I've probably still got a little bit of it today. And I just thought she was beautiful, not least the fact that she also married Lee Majors, who at the time was the $6 million man, who I thought was gorgeous as well. But you know, everything about her, she was kind of that all-American girl. She had a little bit of glamour to her as well. And so I really wanted to kind of capture that look. And then as I got older, I really got influenced by magazines, in particular Vogue. I used to love reading Vogue, even from my teenage years. I can remember thinking one day I'm going to have a Chanel tweed jacket. Not so keen on them now because I know that that sort of jacket doesn't actually feel comfortable on my body. But then it kind of progressed into Armani, how much I love Armani, the way that he designs the fluid fabrics, the colours. Again, I've mentioned this before, but I started to realise that when I looked in my wardrobe, there weren't any of those influences in there, and I had become, as I've said, quite bored with it. And so I really wanted to think about, how can I bring some of that back in? How can I bring that girl back in who was so inspired by these designers and these characters on the TV? I mean, Dallas was another programme that I absolutely loved. Again, it was quite glamorous. And so I've realised that that kind of little bit of glamour had left my wardrobe, and I really need to think about ways that I can bring it back in. And so things like this that have got a bit of sparkle to them, shoes that have perhaps got a little bit of sparkle or a little bit of decoration to them, they're things that I really want to incorporate back into my wardrobe. I was looking through my jewellery box and I found this bracelet which I haven't worn for quite a while now, and I started to realise this is something that I could wear on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be something that I'm getting dressed up to go out in. Another thing that I found that, again, I haven't really worn much, but I did wear them in a photo on Instagram a few weeks ago, was these sunglasses. Again, I absolutely love them. I need to be getting them out and wearing them. And I think the problem is that because we have kind of been dictated to about that's not trendy, or that's showing your age, and by the way, what does it matter? You know, what does it matter how old you are? You're as old as you feel. And we've also kind of, I've said this in the past as well, there was that element of when you grew up in my era, not showing off. Now that doesn't happen so much anymore because we've got Instagram and everybody's taking selfies, and they're happy to put pictures of their outfits online. But we didn't do that. That was kind of showing off. And so I've really started to sort of think about that we're being kind of repressed from not expressing who we really are. And so what I wanted to do with this video was try and give you permission to not show off, but to be who you are, to think about who are you, to look at things and think, what does that mean to me? How does that make me feel? And again, in the video, which I will link here, about your personal style that I made a couple of weeks ago, I put in a picture of these trousers, and I decided to bite the bullet and order them because I just love the print. These are by S. Max Mara. And they've got that sort of Italian, slightly quirky, slightly glamorous style to them. And I also realised the other reason that I love this print so much is it's got my inherent colours in it. You know, it's got my hair colours in it, it's got my eye colours in it. So, you know, this is actually a really good colour on me. This print is going to work really well for me. It's also got sort of lots of curves in it, and as I mentioned in the shape video, my body and my face has lots of curves. So as well as working with my inherent colours, the print also works for me physically as well, if that makes sense. And so once I got these trousers, I started to sort of think, how can I pull my wardrobe together around these colours, around this print, around this item, and really bring into my wardrobe things that are going to express who I am, regardless of whether they are on trend or not, or whether I should or shouldn't be wearing them as a woman over 50. Because if they make me feel good, then I should be wearing them. And the other thing, which again I mentioned last week, was about colour. This top, which I wore in last week's video, and again I posted a picture on Instagram, and I had so many compliments about it, and it's a colour that makes me happy. Now this top is actually over 10 years old, because I can remember wearing it just before my 50th birthday. It's an Eileen Fisher top. It's a knit, but it's silk, and it's got sort of silk trim on the bottom of it. When I bought it, I absolutely loved it. But I think, again, what has happened over the last few years is because I really felt like I'd had the stuffing knocked out of me, that colour was too much for me. Also, it didn't fit me, it was too small for me, and being quite a fine fabric, I didn't feel comfortable in it because I felt like it showed all the lumps and bumps. Now it fits me again, I can wear it again, and the way that I'm feeling, I can wear it energetically again as well, and proven by the fact that so many people have complimented me in wearing that top. So if you have been feeling like you're stuck in a rut, or perhaps you've been feeling a bit repressed, or perhaps you've been bored with the information or the advice that you've been given on how to dress, I want you to really go back inside, start there, start inside you, think about the things that you used to love, think about the things that you used to do that made you happy, and start there by working through what you need to do to get yourself to the point where you do feel happy and you do feel confident in your personal style. And of course, I would love to help you with this. This is exactly what the Stylish at 50 makeover blueprint will do for you. So if that is something that would be of interest to you, then I would love to help you. We are going to be starting the live calls at the beginning of July. So if you want to be on the first live call, then please do join us as soon as possible. You will then get the details about the first live call where you can ask your own questions. And if this is something that you really want to ask me some questions about, then I would love to hear them, and I would love to help you with them. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then you can do that. And as I said, I will also link that workbook in the description box, which is free for you to download. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.